Welcome back. Crime is bad. I think we can all agree crime is bad. And if you don't agree that crime is bad, I am pretty sure that you are not going to agree with anything else I'm about to say. But the truth is, a lot of people out there right now seem to think that crime in Florida is perfectly fine, and that if you're against it, you're a racist. I'm talking about hurricane victims who a week ago lost almost everything they had. If they were lucky enough, they escaped with their lives. And in the last few days, some of them have returned home to recover whatever belongings they could. That is, if the looters didn't get to their belongings first. This is not a new phenomenon. There are bottom-of-the-barrel vultures who seem to think that they can help themselves to people's stuff, even if those people are at the lowest point in their lives. Post-hurricane looters are a problem every time a storm blows through. So it is no surprise that many people arm themselves, rightfully so, to keep the bad guys from making their horrible situation even worse. It is truly hard to believe that there is scum on this planet that sees a hurricane victim as a ripe opportunity to pick up a few freebies. But they exist, which is why Governor DeSantis had a stark warning for them.
The other thing that we're concerned about, particularly in those areas that were really hard hit, is, we want to make sure we're maintaining law and order. Don't even think about looting. Don't even think about taking advantage of people in this vulnerable situation. And so local law enforcement is involved in monitoring that. I told Kevin if the state needs to help as well, because you can have people bringing boats into some of these islands and trying to ransack people's homes. I can tell you, in the state of Florida, you never know what may be lurking behind somebody's home. And I would not want to chance that if I were you, given that we're a Second Amendment state.
Well, if you're like me, you may have applauded the governor for having the hurricane victims' backs. But cue the politics. Left-wing activists used his comments as an opportunity to call him a racist. Although at no point did he ever mention the color of anybody who's doing the looting. In what seemed like a contorted excuse, his critics said that DeSantis was echoing what Donald Trump once said about George Floyd rioters: when the looting starts, the shooting starts. They claimed that was a dog whistle for killing black people. But this is not a political riot, and hurricanes do not see color. Can't we all just agree that people of all colors can be looters and deplorable all at the same time? And that they all share one thing in common: they are scum. Why anyone would use this opportunity to inject racism into what is already an unimaginable tragedy is opportunistic, political, and frankly, it's obscene. Criminals are bad. Post-hurricane looters, they have a special place in hell. And it just ends there. Brian Enton knows what I'm talking about because he's been covering the looting part of the hurricane story today. Brian, what have you heard?
Well, Ashley, it's just terrible. I mean, you have these storm victims that have already been through so much, and now they've got people stealing from them. Law enforcement will tell you that it is not widespread, but the victims that we've spoken to say, look, they don't even have cell phone service, so they can't always call the police to report it. And when they do finally get in touch with the police departments, they're told that they're spread so thin right now because of the storm, they can't come out and take a report. So many of the people who are still in their homes tonight with no power in this area say they are arming themselves.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.